way up to the University of Virginia here in Charlottesville, Virginia, to go speak to Professor Anna Catherine Clemens' sports media productions class. Anna Catherine is a senior writer for ESPN the magazine, and she did an article on Kyle and how he's dealt with anxiety and how he's dealt with just being a college athlete. So when she interviewed me, I told her basically the mental approach that we take to training and tackling just everyday trials and tribulations of life. And she asked if I come talk to her class today and basically explain like how I do what I do and why I do it, and we're excited. Hopefully everything goes as planned.
I feel as though, I guess you could say it's a gift that I was blessed with, being able to, I can look at somebody and say, hey, you need to be able to do this, this, and this if you want to be really good. And more importantly, I can show them how you do this, this, and this. The hardest part is gaining the trust of a player, right? So Kyle didn't really know me from Adam. He didn't really know me. I didn't really know him. And then he's expected to just listen to what I say. I'm basically a stranger. To me, when I hear coach, I think of leader. That's the first thing I think of, leader. If I'm going to lead you, you have to trust me. People don't realize, people in positions of leadership don't realize that it is a two-way street. So you see this vicious cycle of guys never really having authentic relationships with anybody. And if your relationship isn't authentic, then how can you trust somebody? You know what I mean? Like, how can you really truly trust somebody? And there's this other side of it, right? So if I want Kyle to trust me, I have to then be vulnerable, right? This is part of relationships. You have to be vulnerable if you want somebody to trust you. I can't expect you to trust me if I have a wall up and you never really know who I am. I had to tell him, say, hey, look, I've gone through some tough things. This happened in my life. And it was kind of like, oh, wow, like, it isn't just me. Like, trainers, I don't want to speak for all trainers. I would like to think, though, they play a huge role in these players' lives. Huge role that a lot of times the media doesn't show. People don't see it. Like, if Anna doesn't write this article and it goes to SB Nation or other people from back home don't write articles about me, people have no idea who I am. In Kyle's eyes and his family's eyes, I play a large role in his life, and it's not because of the basketball world. That actually has nothing to do with it. It's because of how I've helped him in life. There was a deeper issue, and it was manifesting and showing itself on the floor, but it had nothing to do with basketball. And then it was like I know him well enough, like, something's not right here. So now I gotta dig a little deeper and dig a little deeper and dig a little deeper. And it took me driving from Indiana and picking him up from college and driving him back home and spending 8 hours in the car with him to do that. Like, I got to the bottom of it. I'm like, okay, now that we got to the root, now we can solve this, right? So we took an approach differently than we've ever taken. We're not going to really work on your skill set because that's fine. And believe it or not, you can never touch a basketball and work on your mind, and you will get better the physical side of it. And that's kind of what it was with Kyle. Like, there were some things going on in his life, and some brain fog, some stuff going on that we needed to hone in on first. And that's the approach we took. And it took, I'd say, a good 6 to 8 months before it was like what we did back in June started to show itself now. And now you're seeing it. Don't be surprised if professional college teams create a life coach, assistant coach position. It probably won't sound as cool as life coach, but that will be what their role is, to basically help out with these guys their whole lives. I mean, most staffs have 5 coaches, 6 coaches, and at the bottom of the totem pole is a director of player development. Well, I believe somewhere between that and the next assistant coach, or maybe below, there will be a guy who's a life coach who can still assist with player development, but then their job also goes off the court, and it helps these guys with just life stuff. And I was fortunate enough, I had 2 great parents. I had an older brother. They guided me in life. They told me, hey, don't do this, do this. A lot of times players don't have that. They come up from broken homes, single parent homes, and they don't have that guidance. And the person who usually fills that void is usually the trainer, right? Usually the guy who they've entrusted with their basketball career to teach them what to do and what not to do on the court. It goes off the court as well. Now these kids went from being like, yeah, let's play Fortnite tonight, to now it's like, hey, did you get your water turned on? You know, you have to pay taxes. Like, do you understand all that? Like, they have no idea. And that's really, really hard. I know when I was 19, 20 years old, I don't want to deal with any real life stuff. I don't want to have to deal with, like, you know, I got to pay the bills, I got to do all that stuff. And you're forced to fast forward. And that's why it's so important that they have somebody in their corner who can guide them through. Because like I said, a lot of guys, they don't come from, you know, stable households, so they don't have two parents saying, and now, did you make sure that you did? They just don't have that. And that, like I said, I strip away basketball and just look at it as people. You have a job that's going to pay you, you know, $1.2 million a year. You know, are you equipped to be able to deal with the life stuff? Basketball is actually the easiest part of it. It's the outside of basketball.